How are you guys doing? This is Ryan. Welcome to the channel. In this week's video, it's a little bit different. I had a really awesome interview lined up for tonight, and my interview, Lawrence of Pantheon Financial, Lawrence Davis, sorry, had an issue with his dog. Had to run him to the vet, and I'm here ready to do a a video, a live stream, and ready to talk crypto. So I figured I'd still take this opportunity to record a video this week and next week. I have a lot going on with the golf tournament, the Bitcoin Cash golf tournament I'm throwing, and also moving my business, amongst a lot of other chaotic things in my life. So what I plan to do is to do more live stuff for this week. I don't have as much time to edit, or not only this week, but probably for the next couple weeks until I settle into my new office. And so most content will be recorded live, and I want to kind of collaborate with other people in the process. And I want to make sure people can hear me here too. This is I got new gear. I want to see if some people come into the chat and talk about the worst things about Bitcoin Cash. And the reason I had a request from a subscriber to make this video, and I think it's a good idea because they always say don't fall in love with an investment, and Bitcoin Cash is an easy project to fall in love with because it just has so much, like, I don't know, freedom, libertarian, roots, which is a very passionate thing for me. So I think it's a good opportunity if we as a community take an internal look and see what can we be critical about Bitcoin Cash, what things can be improved, and what is going on with the project in terms of, I think today is a good day to reflect on it because we're falling all the way back, I think, to like to the 18th ranking in market cap. And not that I think that's a clear indication of anything, but I also think it's something that should be considered. So if you're in the chat, if you can let me know how the audio sounds. I want to make sure the microphone's working well. I did a test. I think it was working well. Let's see. All right. If you guys can hear me, I just want to do a quick sound check. Share out the video. Please give the video a thumbs up, and we'll jump into some of the faults that are in Bitcoin Cash in the project, and really see if these strengths are just unique. Oh, sorry, if these weaknesses are just unique to Bitcoin Cash or to other cryptos, and just the overall future of Bitcoin Cash. I see a couple people watching. Can any of you guys tell me how the audio is? Sounds good? I appreciate it. Yeah, if you guys could just give it a thumbs up, share the video out. We'll get some Bitcoin Cash community people in here, and let's discuss what we can do to improve the project. Not that I'm the only one that's going to do it. There's been a lot of really cool work being done. I've been watching a lot of Mark Lamb lately, and CoinFlex. CoinFlex is very pro Bitcoin Cash, and I've actually been trying to download the app. I'm not sure if it's available in the United States. Does anyone else here use CoinFlex? And if so, where are you from? Because the yield you can get on your crypto there, I heard some people are getting like 14% on their Bitcoin Cash yield, and I would love to get that kind of yield. Is anyone else familiar with CoinFlex? And if you're not, just in general, how do you store your Bitcoin Cash? Do you get yield on it? Do you leave it on an exchange? Do you use BlockFi? Do you use any of these other resources? And what do you use to store your Bitcoin Cash? You just leave it on offline, or do you try to get some yield by leaving it on some kind of exchange, which I understand creates counterparty risk, but 17% is 14% is a lot of money. Is CoinFlex safe though? That's a great question. There definitely is counterparty risk, right? But I've never used it. It's not as safe as holding your crypto on your own, for sure. I wouldn't suggest using all of your Bitcoin Cash to do it. I was thinking about delving in a small percentage to get some yield on it, and kind of see if I feel more comfortable with the company, to put more money on the exchange. But I don't think it's offered in the United States. So, I see Voyager offers like 2% on Bitcoin Cash, and just trying to see what other places I can get some yield on my crypto as I wait for the the rising prices in Bitcoin Cash. So we got about 5 people in here right now. We're a couple minutes in. Let's jump into it, and let's talk about the worst things about Bitcoin Cash. And many of you guys already know, and you probably have defense to it. So I want to hear the defense. Um, and some things let's think critical about, and let's see as a community how should we respond to to the perceived problems with it. So we'll first start off with the name. A lot of people are critical of the name Bitcoin Cash because it uses the name Bitcoin in it, right? And a lot of people try to call this brand hijacking, and it can be troublesome. So, for example, the golf tournament I'm throwing at PJ National, I'm asking people to pay in Bitcoin Cash, and no matter how many people I tell, this is a Bitcoin Cash tournament, pay in Bitcoin Cash, people just say Bitcoin, and that can be a problem at some point, right? Because if they send, Bitcoin Cash to a Bitcoin address, that crypto is lost. If and vice versa, if Bitcoin is sent to a Bitcoin Cash address, that Bitcoin becomes lost. Um, so but it's like it's a double-edged sword, right? Like, because also having Bitcoin in your name is powerful too. We're not necessarily trying to trick people, but Bitcoin Cash is a fork of it. So why give up the name? How do you guys deal with people that you explain Bitcoin Cash to, and they're completely new to crypto, don't understand what happened in the past? Like, well, it's Bitcoin, right? Well, it is Bitcoin, but it's it's different. So let's read some of the comments here. JE saying, I feel like this year made the most progress for Bitcoin Cash. I do agree. I do think the community is starting to swell and trying to find its identity. We definitely have had fractures, which is what I want to get to next. But let's talk more about the name. There's definitely way more people starting to talk about BCH. Correct. Bitcoin Cash is hated so much in Korea. Yeah, so I think a lot of times people hate Bitcoin Cash because is the brand hijacking, right? They feel like that is a scam, that they're using it. And Mark DeMesso had a great rebuttal to this, to the issue with the name, and he said it's like if Tesla were to fork as a company and one of the fork wanted to go off and make gas powered vehicles and veer off of the original path, which is to be an electric car company. Now, if Tesla went these two different directions, but like the majority of people said, no, we want to create gas powered companies or vehicles. Um, and then they went over there and they kept the name, but then you had Tesla over here, and they wanted to be called Tesla Electric because they still wanted to be electric. Like Bitcoin Cash still wants to be cash, right? So it would make sense for them to hold on to the name. Does that make any logic? JE, can you please add to why you think Bitcoin Cash is hated in Korea? So, and I thought that was a good response by Mark, and it does make sense. So why give up on the name if that's what you've always been? So curious your guys' thoughts about that. But also responding to all the progress made in Bitcoin Cash this year, I agree. I've been following Bitcoin Cash since the fork in 2017, and there was so much hope around like this is going to be this is going to be what Bitcoin is, and all this other nonsense is happening. Like I don't understand why it's happening. But then of course you had Craig Wright pretending to be Satoshi, or if he is Satoshi, I don't think so, but and then you had that fork, so you had all that market cap go away, and all the people that were energetic about the vision of Bitcoin being BCH going to BSV, and they do have a community there. It is a real community. They find it worth defending. And then you had the Amari Sajay, however you pronounce his name, for eCash or Bitcoin ABC. So you've had like these fragments of the community, so that that's really hurting when you're trying to build a community that they keep on forking off. So this is a real issue. And one of the worst things about Bitcoin Cash is that we've had a hard time cultivating who our community is because we've had people leave. And I stayed with Bitcoin Cash because I was not going the Craig Wright, cultish route, the eCash route. I don't think we should be giving developers 8% of all new coins that are mined. I think it's a tax that just to fun projects. Like if you have a good crypto project, like we have Bitcoin Cash projects everywhere, right? Noise.cash, Smart BCH, Re.cash, you name it. People are building businesses on Bitcoin Cash. They don't need to be coerced to do it, right? Like people are willing to invest to improve the ecosystem. Like I'm willing to invest in Bitcoin Cash for my business. I'm throwing a huge golf tournament here in Florida to spread awareness, and I'm willing to give to this, this open source project to improve it. So that would be number two. But let's first go back to number one. I have some comments. Brian over here says BCH is what BTC. BTC. Let me go back to that comment, Brian. BCH is what BTC was supposed to be. I honestly believe due to BTC core maximalists, they pay influencers and YouTubers to FUD down BCH potential. The level of BTC core trying to dismantle BCH is crazy. Yeah, so the question is why, and JE, I want to throw it back to you. I want to understand why like Bitcoin Cash is hated so much in Korea, right? And why, is there an organized attempt from a lot of the big money that does exist inside Bitcoin? Bitcoin's nearly $1 trillion asset that wants to hurt Bitcoin Cash. Absolutely, there's absolutely money that's around to do it, right? And it is crazy that you'll have like who's I was critical of him before. Big Boy Crypto wants to talk so much smack about Bitcoin Cash now when he used to be rather friendly with it. Like he has like a video with 90,000 views being fair to Bitcoin Cash. Now whenever he talks about it, he thinks Litecoin's better, and it's really seems like there could be some money exchanged to do that. So Brian, I do agree with that, but why? Why do that? Here's Ning. No, don't chop off your own leg just because other people think that your leg is somewhat similar and better looking with other people's leg. Chop off your leg because people think it's like. Trying to understand exactly what you mean by that in regards to the fork. Bitcoin Maxis definitely influenced the new people. Sure. Michael Saylor likes to talk poorly about Bitcoin Cash. Yeah. Yeah, guys, if we have more people coming in, make sure to hit that thumbs up button. Passive income investor, thanks for dropping in to say hello. Yeah, let's talk quickly about Michael Saylor. Michael Saylor is a Johnny come lately that has so much influence. Like he was bearish on crypto when Bitcoin, when all the gains were being made. He jumps in last year, makes some decent returns, right? But not like the OGs, the Mike Hearns, the Roger Veers I see in the chat here. And now everyone just follows this guy, right? Because he's articulate, he has a platform, he's on television, and all of a sudden he is the guiding person to follow, right? He's like the leader of Bitcoin. Like he's probably the biggest maximalist. So that's definitely something that we have going against us. It's one of the worst things. Like we're the biggest target. Like Bitcoin maximalists hate every altcoin. Like they love Bitcoin the most, right? But then they hate Bitcoin Cash the most. So that definitely is, one of the worst things about Bitcoin Cash. Like we're the number one target from the biggest asset in the crypto market. So how do we change that, right? Are the fundamentals just so sound for Bitcoin Cash? And I want to bring up one other thing that could be a threat to Bitcoin Cash, as I've been really following what's happening in El Salvador and how these things are being implemented. So here's JE. Brian, true olive. All you have to do is just listen to Roger Ver. Yeah, and I think that could be part of the problem too, because a lot of times, Roger carried a lot of weight. A lot of people, we're scared to even go the Bitcoin Cash route. We're scared to give up on BTC Bitcoin, right? Because that network effect was so powerful. And Roger, I think it was courageous in a way, but like he is now like they view it as centralized because Roger was like the biggest person that moved away. Like Roger it was Bitcoin Jesus. He owned bitcoin.com. Like he could have left his life very simple, sat back and said, sure, do whatever you want to Bitcoin. I'm already making a ton of money. I own bitcoin.com. But no, Roger did something else. Roger believed in something so much that he's almost made himself a central point of attack. And I like that he's actually taken a step backward, and that he's not in the limelight right now. This is one of the better things about it. Like, I think one of the worst things is that Roger Ver is like the central point for a lot of people in Bitcoin Cash, but letting him pull back, like, let Bitcoin Cash stand without him. And I think it's showing that it can, even though I think we're suffering and ranking right now. I think it is a good reason to be critical of it. We dropped to the 18th spot in market cap. But what I find interesting is that we're fifth in volume. Bitcoin Cash is the fifth in volume. So all these altcoins that are pumping up ahead of it don't have the liquidity inside it to actually sell it and make that money. So, like, how are whales going to exit the market in these, I don't know what pumped today, Alvex, or these, I don't even know what these cryptos are. And but yeah, just saying, Roger still has a crazy amount of BTC and holds BCH with other coins. That is true. Passive income, my bro. So good to see you. Ning says, that is why the SEC is going to after the crypto market. All of these is just the media influence behind private interests. I mean, the name thing that you mentioned. Yeah. BitBoy got 10,000 for that video. BitBoy secretly owns BCH. I know it for a fact. He does own some. I've seen his portfolio. I don't know. JE, do you have any evidence he got 10,000? I'm sure he gets paid. I mean, he has so much, following. My wife has a channel. She has about 75,000 subscribers, and she gets like 25,000 views a video, and she gets paid from brands to mention them. Mention a brand in about $2,000 to $4,000 easily. So I'm sure companies would gladly pay BitBoy Crypto $10,000 for a mention for a channel that has 1 million subscribers easily. I'm sure he doesn't make a video unless he's getting $10,000 because it's worth it. Like, someone with that kind of audience reach, and maybe is that something that Bitcoin Cash needs to do? Do we need to? We didn't. I don't think we paid Andre Jick to have such a good, honest view on Bitcoin Cash. But do we need to try to network more with bigger YouTubers or bigger influencers? There's all these flip starters. There's all this money going around. What do we need to do to organize to make sure the PR is correct? Brian, we need someone like Gary Vee to push BCH. Well, I had an interesting conversation with someone on Instagram about smart BCH and the ability of smart contracts and things like NFTs coming on BCH. And there's definitely issues with Ethereum, which holds a lot of the DeFi NFT market, and Bitcoin Cash, now delving into it with its low fee structure, should attract a lot of capital to this kind of speculation that Gary Vee is really, I think, almost one of the forefronts for NFTs. Cardano was trending on Twitter today for the smart contract. It honestly pisses me off that BCH didn't go trending when we got ours. That's fair. David Bond, I remember the day Smart BCH went live, is like, this is huge. I guarantee no one's going to talk about it. But to be reflective, it's, you just can't stare at the world and be upset at it. You have to be, well, what can we do to actually change it, right? And I think Mark Lamb is doing a great job with CoinFlex, and being pro BCH and loving the platform of you have proof of work. I do think is a more decentralized system than proof of stake, and but the issue you have is that also you have the pollution. So this could be a con, but it's also very decentralized, and Bitcoin Cash is still like the second biggest proof of work network. So proof of work is the longest running way to run a blockchain. It's proven to be durable. Excuse me. It's proven to be decentralized. So this is also a pro and a con, right? Like, you have governments and institutions that don't like the carbon footprint of it, right? Like, you have a lot of ESG investing, people that want like environmentally friendly investments, and proof of stake is better, but it's more centralized. Who Know Me says BCH isn't a company, though. It's not a company, but we all own it. So that's why if it's an open source project that anyone can contribute to, is a way that you can make money. You can participate in it by making it a better system, and that creates more capital appreciation for you. So in a way, we all own it, right? It's not a company, but we all own it. It's decentralized. If you own Bitcoin Cash, it's kind of like owning a stock, but more decentralized, right? Like there's more decentralized features to it, like how decision making is making, or like you can have, I forget who was it that said he's the CEO of Bitcoin Cash. Like he can just declare that, right? Because it's completely open source. I say I am. Or you have Jeremy with the Bitcoin Cash podcast. He didn't go ask for permission to say, "Can I have the Bitcoin Cash project?" He just said he was the Bitcoin Cash project. So, um, and then look at, I think a great example. We talked about Roger Ver. You know, Bitcoin wasn't a company, but he did so much to grow Bitcoin that it became very valuable, right? So he had a vested interest in making tools for Bitcoin to be useful, and that made Bitcoin so valuable, along with other people, of course. I'm just using him because I think he was one of the he was really, I mean, he's really an OG from the sense that like he was that first investor in crypto startups, right? Like he built an infrastructure. So I got some more things. Do you use Ledger Store your cryptos? I picked up 3 BCH last night. I do. I do use a Ledger, but I'm very, I like to get yield. I know that does create counterparty risk, and I do want a certain amount of my wealth out of anyone else's reach. But also, I like to get paid. I like to get paid to wait. So, all right. So, what did we cover so far? We covered the name issue of Bitcoin Cash. We covered the forks that have caused problems. We covered the fact that proof of work is frowned upon. Certainly, like you had Elon Musk come out and saying he wouldn't accept Bitcoin because of the high carbon footprint. And then you also, yeah. So those are things that are issues. Does anyone, in terms of crypto world, I think one thing you can be critical of is the 10-minute block time, and that's not unique to Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin has the same thing, but not confirming things within a quicker time. Like the transactions for Bitcoin Cash, like the way they operate on like the Bitcoin.com wallet, they show they're instantaneous, but the blocks don't actually fill for every 10 minutes. So would it be better for Bitcoin Cash to have a quicker block speed? And is this a reason for like people want to create Lightning? And that's actually one of the things I want to talk about. So I've been very critical of the Lightning Network, and there's a lot of reasons to be critical of the Lightning Network, right? And the biggest reason I would say is that it's predominantly custodial services, and I don't know a whole lot about every single one. I should say I've tried Strike. It just seems like you're using PayPal. Bitcoin Beach is pretty much a censored platform. Chivo looks like an absolute disaster in El Salvador. But I did try something called the Moon Wallet. The Moon Wallet. And I don't know a whole lot about how it works or what it's doing, but I do know that it is non-custodial. I signed up, no KYC, and I sent myself $25 worth of Bitcoin to that wallet, and it was pretty smooth. The app is kind of meh, not a whole lot to it, but it seemed non-custodial, and it seemed to work. So that could be a potential challenge if the Lightning Network could provide a real viable, non custodial service. I think that's something to be always wary about, right? And that's why I think someone else said here, like Roger Ver owns so much BTC. Well, BTC, if they do create what makes Bitcoin Cash great, then that certainly is a threat to Bitcoin Cash, right? But we have to make sure that that we stay non-custodial, that we have privacy features like Cash Fusion. And I love the smart BCH platform too. Like these are all huge things that make us a better version of Bitcoin. And I still believe, yeah, absolutely, that Bitcoin Cash is a better version of Bitcoin. So let's go back to the chat here. I think the only thing we need to do is to do what we do right now, spreading the word, no more and no less. Don't get too worried and keep learning. I think it's absolutely right. Stay the course. Bitcoin Cash has great fundamentals, and And yeah, and stay engaged, help the network. Like no one owns this thing, right? We all own this together. What can we do to improve it? Well, I believe one day BCH will reach six figures in US dollars. When? I hope before 2030. I certainly think that's very possible. I think by 2025, it's possible. Um, certain catalysts need to happen by then, and it's hard to predict exactly when. But it's going to take all of us here to make sure we're pushing the fundamentals out in the world. We're building things on top of Bitcoin Cash. We're making it useful. We're spreading the adoption. Where if you own a company, pay your employees in it, pay your vendors in it. The more people that hold the token, the more valuable it is, and the more they'll see the utility in it. Really, right? 95% of all company go bust eventually. BCH doesn't because it's fundamental. Yeah, so that's a really bullish thing about cryptos like Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, gold. Even I heard Peter Schiff was on Vlad TV. He's like, yeah, gold isn't really an investment, but it has certain things that make it great. And certainly it stood the test of time. Like how many companies have gone bankrupt and gold's been on the planet forever and been used as a value transfer. Cryptos are going to have the same thing. Like, right, like people just need to find the utility useful for something and it'll survive, right? The Lightning Network itself already sounds retarded. Sure. Like, because you can say that. I get why people can say that. Because we've seen that the blockchain for Bitcoin Cash at a 8 megabyte block or a 32 megabyte block works, right? We do 100,000 transactions a day. It's a very viable thing to do. But you do have to understand too that if Lightning can have features like the blockchain, and also the base layer having a high hash power. I mean, hash power is valuable, right? That's security. Security is extremely important. Let's keep going down here. JE, Bitcoin will hit 3,000 again before 2025. Yeah, I expect it to hit 3,000 in the next 6 months, but we'll see. We have 7 future millionaires watching this live right now. Yeah, if you guys don't mind hitting that thumbs up button, it helps more people see this video, more people get in the chat. Ryan, is BCH currently your largest holding? Yeah, it's very darn close with Ethereum. Ethereum is done really well for me. I made a lot of money in Ethereum, and I've diversified it out, and I've bought more Bitcoin Cash with it, and I've bought other things. Like I invest in different things outside of crypto. But Bitcoin Cash is a resource I do use for my business. Like people pay me in Bitcoin Cash like quite frequently, and I force the issue, right? And some people are pro crypto and they have Bitcoin Cash they pay me with, but I'm definitely in the minority, right? Like I'm definitely leading the charge, and hopefully that's showing foresight. And as an investor, I'm going to make money by more people using it in the future without me being the main person pushing it. And that's what this golf tournament's about that I'm doing on September 27th. And that's, why I am, I'm doing my part in my community to build a network. Who know me? Do you think the crypto market will be an endless loop of novel coins getting pumped? That's hard to say, because I think it'll have a similar similar adoption phases to like what the dot-com bubble looked like, right? Like there was a bunch of Mickey Mouse companies launching during the dot-com bubble, right? And there's still some Mickey Mouse companies that still pop up here, right? Like Nikola Motors went public and whatnot. So, and the stock market's been around for, I don't know, 200 and something years, right? So, uh, yes, but I do think cream will rise to the top, and there'll be so many people that just want, great, great quality and great value. So that's where most of the capital will go, and there'll be a whole range. I think it'll be like the stock market. There'll be top, mid cap, big cap, different utility. Like we're building a whole decentralized world, and where Bitcoin Cash fits into that will be really interesting. And it definitely has the ability to be one of the biggest players. But again, getting back to the worst things about it, we have some issues to take care of, and And one of them, I don't think we should change the name. I do think a big thing that could really possibly happen is to see what Kim.com is up to. Kim.com is a legend in the internet world by building Mega Upload, but also he's had a lot of failed projects too, to be fair. But any entrepreneur does, right? Like in the entrepreneurial world, similar to like baseball, like you can have a low percentage of home runs or like a 300% batting average, like 3 to 10, and you can still be great, right? Because if the times you make contact, you make a lot of money and you have a lot of impact, something could be big. So the question is this K.im really going to be, a killer app? If you have one mainstream killer app using a cryptocurrency, I don't think there's any else really out there doing like massive volume. And that crypto's Bitcoin Cash is huge, right? That could be that's bigger than El Salvador, right? Because like Mega Upload was 4% of internet traffic. El Salvador is like a tenth of a percent of total GDP, world GDP, right? Like it's really nothing. But it's an experiment, and so the question is, we need something that is going to be a large market cap item and transfer a lot of value on the BCH network. And luckily, we have a great entrepreneur working on it. It seems like him and Roger, who are both great entrepreneurs and have lots of money and lots of resources, are working on projects together. So maybe that's where something comes through. So got some more questions here. Anyone with huge platform or influence can hype up a coin and make a quick buck. That's absolutely right. We saw Elon Musk did it so much with Dogecoin where it pumped up to 70 cents. I can't remember the exact market cap, but I think it got close to like $100 billion market cap. Don't quote me. But today I see it. It's like still in like 20-cent range. And finally, Polkadot surpassed it. Like Polkadot's been like a far superior project, right? And yet, like Dogecoin, how's Dogecoin ahead of Bitcoin Cash? Doesn't make sense either. That just goes to show that someone can literally, with a large platform, pump it up. All right, here we go. Buyback in before May, 15 to 25,000 back up in 22 May. Yeah, I don't know. Like, will we get along? Like, we're gonna have a blow off top, I think, at some point, right? And where cryptos go, like Bitcoin Cash, I think easily could go past $3,000. And I do think it could break its previous all time high of 4,000 and make a new high somewhere north of there. But when does it happen, right? Does it look like what 2017 looked like, what 2013 looked like? Or people are trying to propose right now elongating cycles of the bull market? I don't know. Like, I wouldn't bet on something different happening. If you don't get like huge gains in the next 6 months, then who cares? Just hold your crypto. Like 2025 will come again. Like, right? Like if I don't see these blow off top numbers, I just keep on holding my crypto. My life is just as good tomorrow as it was yesterday, right? So I see more people in the chat. Please give this video a thumbs up so more people can see it. And we're just talking about the pros and cons, or specifically the cons in this video of Bitcoin Cash. But yeah, just touching on the bull cycle there. Yeah, May of 2022 doesn't seem like something that I would say like, oh, for sure that's going to be it, because I've never seen a high happen at that time. Like I expect more. I expect the bear market to be maybe at that time, and hopefully, if like everything went the way planned, like we have this blow off top in December, January, I take massive profits. Then we start tanking for the next, let's say it's going to be like a 3 to 6 month, just like bloodbath, right? And I want to feel like I want to buy in when I see like absolute pain, and I would expect that to be around May. But what do I know, right? Like I'm just that's what I would expect to happen. So JE says accumulate BCH 2023, 2025. Yeah, I'd say 2022 would also be a year of accumulation if what I just said was correct. My father's here. He does also hold Bitcoin Cash. Say hello to my father. What's up, Dad? Zach Zim says constant forks of BCH. Absolutely a good reason to be critical of it. And the question is, where do you go, right? Like, what do you happen? Do you leave with the forks? If you don't want to leave with the forks, do you feel like what drove you to Bitcoin Cash initially is still alive in the project. And for me, it's like the true like libertarianist free market tool that Bitcoin was. Like I feel like that's still like the real ethos. Like it's that real you know, Austrian economic, like I don't know. To me, it's everything that I want the world to be in terms of symbolizing freedom, permissionless, non KYC, privacy features. Just has so many things that I find to be desirable. JE says, "Your son's a future billionaire." My dad says, "I'm not retiring for 10 years, anyways. I'll sell it maybe then, or when best gain." Yeah. So my dad has just wanted to hodl his. I told him how I plan to trade around it if we get this blow off top, and he's like, I'm just gonna, I'm working for another 10 years. I'll just buy as much of it as I can." So, Brian says, "Hey Ryan, do you think the bull run is likely to extend into 2022? It just seems like the bull run is lagging right now." I don't think so. I think that like you'll see. I think it's gonna be a lot like 2017. I remember the 2017 bull run very vividly. If I were to guess, right, I don't see a full reason to believe in an elongating cycle. This thing could go vertical very fast. I think, like I remember 2017 around Thanksgiving, being with my family and be like, "Holy cow, this crypto thing's really starting to pump up." And like the next like 20 days, like went full vertical. So I think it'll be fleeting. I think that the blow off top will be extremely fast, extremely euphoric, faster than you think it's going to happen. And so many people are going to get so greedy so fast, and they don't realize how fleeting that moment's going to be to make that kind of money you see in your account. They're going to reach for more greed and can't believe how fast they got rich, and then they're going to get slaughtered. That's the way I would predict it. But maybe we'll reflect back on this thought. I think it's going to be insane, just from my experience. Is Monero the biggest competitor of BCH? Monero is great. I think we should throw a lot of respect to Monero. Like Monero in the cryptocurrency world is like synonymous for quality of privacy. Like I think Monero and privacy are like the same word. Just like when I clean with like Windex, I don't, it may not even be Windex. It could be glass cleaner, but I still call it Windex because it has such great brand awareness towards privacy. And I think privacy has a lot of value. Mark Falzon, the legend. Are you in El Salvador, brother? Thank you for dropping in. If you guys are not seeing what Mark Falzon is doing, you are missing some incredible, historical coverage of a grand crypto experiment. It's incredible. Everyone, Mark Falzon's in the chat there. Subscribe to his channel. Follow him on Twitter. I saw you're taking a break. You have to follow his work. Mark is, I feel like, very open-minded and covers well and very fair to Bitcoin Cash. Obviously, like he comes from Bitcoin Cash, but I think he's doing a great job covering what's going on in El Salvador. And I mean, he's doing a better job than anyone. How about that? He's doing an incredible job. Like I can't even, I don't want to like downplay it at all. Like what he's doing is insanely valuable. Watch Coinbase block everyone from selling their BCH. Why would they do that? Actually, when Bitcoin Cash forked in 2017, you could see it on your phone on Coinbase, and you couldn't buy it. Like when the market gets so chaotic, like filling orders becomes impossible. Like that, like I was saying, like how euphoric these things get, like all the technology fails for some reason. And maybe it's technological, maybe it's some kind of scam. I don't know, but Brian says, "I believe you, Ryan. Haha, not complaining. I'll have my exit strategy set." Yeah, actually, maybe we should all remind ourselves to set some sell orders, right? Like if you are okay with taking profits, like at Bitcoin Cash, if it goes to $3,000, like if you want to sell 20% of your holdings, like set that sell order maybe tonight because this thing could happen fast. Jordan Zimmer says Cadena is a bigger competitor. Cadena, bigger competitor to what? To Bitcoin Cash, to Monero. I don't know the name, so it lacks some brand awareness, at least to me, or maybe I'm just more ignorant. Mark is still in El Salvador. Mark, I can't wait for your next video, man. I got put on your notification bell from Mark. Like literally, what you're seeing him report is like the first line footage of what's going on in El Salvador. You're not going to get any better coverage of what's going on in El Salvador than what Mark's doing. JE says Trojan equals security. Do you mean like Trojan horse? Like that's how you really take over? Uh, Double D561 David, thanks for joining the live stream. I was supposed to interview a gentleman who owns a crypto hedge fund who's going to be sponsoring my golf tournament for Bitcoin Cash, and he had to run his dog to the vet. So I'm like, I'm all set up here to shoot a video. Let's talk about Bitcoin Cash, and let's talk about what the things that are bad about it, right? We've got 16 in the chat now, guys. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up so more people can see it. I really appreciate you guys joining me on this Sunday night. It means a lot. Yes, everyone, please have an exit plan. Yeah, have an exit plan. But like only, like I said, if we're, I've been saying if we're in a bear trap, or sorry, a bull trap, and this thing's just, we're hoping it goes higher and it never really does, right? Then it wasn't as euphoric as I think it should have been. Like there's bears out there calling for, Ethereum to go under 1,000, Bitcoin to go under 10,000. Then, to me, like I've been in crypto long enough where I see the kind of gains you can make, and I haven't seen them yet. Like they've been good. They've beaten every other asset, right? But I'll gladly hold on and accumulate until 2025 when the next, market cycle happens. All right, got more people in the chat here. Don't just buy these coins. Y'all make sure you have an exit plan. Yeah, I mean, if you're in more speculative things that have low volume, like again, Bitcoin Cash has fallen to the 18th ranking, but it's 5th in volume. If you have a lot of money and you're rich, what are you doing in these low volume, coins? You're not gonna, the liquidity is not there, right? But something to consider. Bitcoin Cash did, I think, about 5 billion in volume today, so it's a powerful network. BCH consistently has a lot of volume traded. Liquidity BCH is one of the qualities I like about it. Yeah, I just said that. 17th biggest market cap, 5th most volume. Yeah, Zach, I was saying that. I'm not sure when you came to the stream, but our falling market cap, our ranking in the market cap is like kind of, you view it as negative. Like it could be, when an asset falls in price or in value and it's overlooked, like that's not an opportunity a lot. Or it could be a falling knife, right? But I feel like if you really know your investment, the quality that you're holding, you should know otherwise. But and I think I understand Bitcoin Cash that well. But also, I will tell you absolutely, like there's so many things I love about Bitcoin Cash. Like I have to be critical of it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's an investment, and be careful falling in love with investments. What I mean by that is be critical of them. Don't be scared to be critical of them. Don't be a maximalist. And let's see what Ning says here. The worst thing that can happen is when BCH is pumping back to its all-time high and I'm not there. That is top fear that I hedge. Nothing else other than that. Well, if you set a limit sell order, you can set limit buys, but limit sells. Like most brokerages, you should be able to pre-program your trades in at certain levels. Or I'm not sure what brokerage you're using, but I would definitely look into that. Jordan says, Cadena is a competitor to any crypto like BCH or ETH due to its 500,000 transaction per second and has smart contracts on-chain with proof of work. I do really like proof of work, so I do like that. BCH, 5,000 transactions per second is an incredible amount. I'll have to look more into it, to be honest. How quickly do those transactions, what's the block speed? Like again, Bitcoin Cash block speed is a block every 10 minutes. Ethereum, has a huge market cap despite all of its flaws. Cadena, I'll have to look into. If you don't mind, let me know what exchanges does it trade on. We should talk about exit plan. Don't crush these newcomers to crypto. We have to make awareness of an exit plan. Then who are we going to dump our bags on? No, I'm joking. Yeah, I'm transparent about what I'm doing, right? Like I don't have big enough bags to even, make a huge difference, right? But I was saying a good top plan for the market is to see when Charlie Lee's going to dump his bags. Remember when he sold all his Litecoin and dumped it on everyone and said, I don't want to hold Litecoin because it's a conflict of interest because I created this. Like, no, be honest. Just say, I think the market's way overinflated. I'm going to decrease my position by a lot. If you're holding profits, I would consider doing that as well. If you think this is a real long-term investment, you're paying for a lot of future value priced into this asset right now. Like Litecoin is still below its 2017 all-time high. Yes, exit strategy is crucial if we're taking profits. I can't wait to spend sleepless nights watching constant green candles on my phone. Yeah, those are fun nights, man. Like in crypto, like I'm wondering, I feel like we get more painful nights than the euphoric ones, but man, the euphoric ones keep you coming back, don't they? Exit strategy is key. Don't get high off the green candle. Yeah, I've definitely done that. Like I was feeling pretty euphoric when Bitcoin Cash went up and kissed $800. Like, because there's not a lot of resistance there. I'm not sure how many technical traders are here, but like Bitcoin Cash from 700s to 1,000, it's pretty quick moves historically. There's not a lot of technical reasons really to tie it up. So I was feeling pretty euphoric, but we didn't get we didn't break through. Ryan, what will you take profits into? Gold, stable coins, or something else? Great question. I was actually looking. I have a friend that works for a realtor company called Bit Realty, and they really are a forward-thinking real estate company that will take cryptocurrency. They use it. They use BitPay when they do it. So I actually have plans to buy a farm. I own a couple pieces of real estate. I do like real estate. It's there's certain things about it that very attractive. I've done relatively well on it. So I'm thinking about buying a farm. If I'm putting a deposit with this company. Actually, I'm going to reach out to them this week. But that's been the plan with my wife and I. Is our next major purchase is going to be a farm. So maybe I'll have some cool content of chasing chickens and Bitcoin Cash. We'll see. JE says, what did he say here? Get a farm in California. I don't know if I can do California, man. Those taxes scare me. And Florida is my heart's in Florida for now. I mean, I think my next move outside of Florida would be outside the United States, do some kind of expatriate thing. I see a lot of people, go take advantage of the capital gains or lack thereof capital gains tax in Puerto Rico. And then I've seen St. Kitts, I saw Roger Ver being one of them, but also there's a big women YouTuber in the crypto world that denounced her citizenship, went to St. Kitts. I think that's something to consider. Mark says, what is the argument against Lightning Network? I'm still not understanding how it works. Mark, we were messaging on Instagram, and I've been very critical of Lightning Network, but I told you I did like the Moon wallet, right? But I like the fact that it was non-custodial and cheap to move around, but I don't understand the security though. Like, am I getting the security of the blockchain proof of work network from the base layer of Bitcoin? But I'm off on this other thing right now that I don't really know much about. Like, I don't know what's securing Moon Wallet. Like, Moon Wallet, I think was promising. Like, obviously, you've showed that Chivo looks like an absolute disaster. Strike Network looks like a disaster. In terms of being custodial, like, I don't have interest in using a custodian solution. Like, right, if I want to use a custodian solution, I would just own Bitcoin and I would keep cash on like PayPal or something else like that, or Venmo or Zelle or any of these other really centralized features. But Moon Wallet is interesting to me. I've been trying to do more research on it to understand it better, but it certainly isn't the security and protection I get from a proof of work network like Bitcoin Cash that can do the payments cheap. So I think that's what I believe. Brian says, getting a farm, nice. It's going to be such a valuable asset. Hodl when you get a farm. Diamond hands. Yeah, I don't ever plan to sell my real estate. Like, whenever I buy it, whenever I have friends that like sell their real estate to buy their next house. And one of the beautiful things about real estate is that you can borrow against it so easily, right? So I have no interest in ever selling it. It's like, why not just cash or refinance your house and buy another one? So yeah, I'll definitely hodl my real estate. Like this house I'm in, I'll keep it, I'll rent it out and move on. Gen X, you are, I'm not sure when you got in here, brother, but you are one of my inspirations for this video. We've been talking about the critical things of Bitcoin Cash. Would you denounce your U.S. citizenship? Sorry, that's hard to say. Would you denounce your U.S. citizenship? I need to get some water. I absolutely. It's a life goal of mine, Gen X. I like to. I definitely would like to. I don't want to get overly philosophical with it and be critical of why I want to do it. And I think the United States is fantastic. It's been so good to me, my family. We migrated here, but like I still want to be like forward thinking. Like I think the best way to cultivate a society is going to be way better in some kind of more forward thinking, a crypto type economy, decentralized network. And I think the bigger, powerful networks of today are going to be the hardest ones to disrupt and move forward from. And I think like the dollar will be one of like the last standing, um, sovereign currencies. So I don't really have interest in staying in the old empire as it decays. And maybe I'll be way early, and I'm okay with that. I like frontiers. I like, I think it'd be interesting. So I'm trying to buy a huge auto body if BCH pops. I'm trying to buy an auto body shop. Gen X, you need to make videos about BCH. I don't know if Gen X would do that. Gen X does invest in crypto, but Gen X is one of my favorite YouTubers. Like again, I plugged Mark Falzon, fantastic channel. Gen X, one of the best YouTube channels on YouTube. Personal finance related, definitely dividends, but also just like he's just a real good dude. Like I'm a father. I really look up to Gen X in terms of how he's building generational wealth and how the research that goes into his investment decisions. He has a very interesting life story and how he got to where he got to, and everyone here should definitely follow Gen X. Daniel Prather says, "Where is the BCH community? Where do we go to learn about BCH?" Fantastic question. I think you're in a decent place here. I'll definitely plug my friend Jeremy with the Bitcoin Cash podcast. Does an excellent job. He's just one of the sponsors of my golf tournament too for Bitcoin Cash. If you want to get in the Bitcoin Cash community in your South Florida, come to PJ National. You can learn more there. Gabriel with firstmill.com is an excellent Bitcoin Cash YouTuber. George Donnelly with Bitcoin Cash site has a fantastic channel. What's another channel I like to watch? There's quite a bit of them. I mean, just type in Bitcoin Cash, you'll find them. And yeah, I mean, Roger still does upload content quite a bit on his personal channel. I mean, he's definitely one of the best, just I think overall Austrian economists to listen to. Roger's one of the best people to learn about just like personal freedom in general too. So he's definitely someone to look at. Gen X investor, BCH is generational wealth. I certainly would agree. I got my bags packed on that. Patrick says, "What is your view on AVEX?" I see AVEX pumping today, and to be honest, I don't know. It's got low volume. It's pumping. If I've made money on it now, I'd be taking some off the table. You have a lot of these coins that'll pump up and then fall back. Internet Computer, VChain popped up for a while, fell back down. Chainlink goes up and then comes back down. I haven't done a deep dive. Eric says Bcash, the dreaded Bcash. Again, we were talking about the brand hijacking that people are critical of Bitcoin Cash. Maybe Bcash wouldn't be the worst thing, right? But we talked about, it is Bitcoin, right? And we were talking about like Bitcoin Cash having the Bitcoin name being a problem, and keeping Bitcoin in its name would be like Tesla, forking off its company, and then half of the people that went off with Tesla, they went in a different direction. They wanted to make gas-powered cars, so they kept the name Tesla. But then the people that wanted to keep them making electric cars called themselves Tesla Electric. They kept the Tesla name there too. It's kind of similar with Bitcoin Cash. Bitcoin Cash is following like the original pathway that we were going initially. Something else changed their direction, but they got to keep the name. So I understand why the brand hijacking is a valid argument, because people do get confused with it. Absolutely. Guys, we got 18 in the chat. Give it a thumbs up. Let's see if we can get over 20. And then I'm going to go for probably another 15, 20 minutes and get ready for the work week. Hello, future millionaires. Haha, JE. Thanks for the kind words. Absolutely, Gen X. I'm actually a Patreon of Gen X as well. I'm not a Patreon on a lot of channels, but definitely he has got an awesome Discord. So much value. Kadena is on KuCoin, Bittrex, CoinX, and block speed is 30 seconds. That's impressive. I'll look into it. How big are the blocks? I'll do my research. I'll look into it. It's definitely, you got my interest, Jordan. Anyone want to buy my way for 4 BCH? Could we see pictures? I'm joking. BCH is going to hit 500,000 easy. Gabriel does believe so. Gabriel's a great guy. Firstmill.com. Check him out. He has very good insights on life in general, as well with crypto. But just you can tell, just a really good person and a deep thinker. I'm glad he's in the Bitcoin Cash community. Patrick RG, I bought some BCH thanks to you and Mark DeMessel. Patrick, how'd you find Mark DeMessel? Did you find me first? Not sure. David says, bahaha. I'm assuming that's at my response to seeing pictures of JE's wife. Not sure. Let me see if I got some water here. Guys, thank you so much for showing up on the fly. We're about 55 minutes in of me just hopping on a live show. Mark, while you're here, man, what else can you share with us? What are you seeing in El Salvador? Are you ever going to leave? Why would you ever leave, right? Have you learned how to surf yet? I've had the opportunity to go down to Costa Rica on that similar coast, and the waves are just amazing. Like I'm not the best surfer, but I would go chase those waves any day. I got to spend a week on Hermosa Beach and literally surf the whole time, and I don't know. You feel like it's like I feel like it's an outer body experience. To be honest, like I hopefully like Bitcoin Cash becomes the currency of Costa Rica, and I'm definitely moving there. Mark doesn't know if he can leave. That's scary. Oh God, he's not joking. Mark, I've been critical of Bukele being some kind of authoritative dictator. Gen X, while you're here, you have to check out Mark's channel. You may have already. I did a review on his awesome vlog that he did with visiting Bitcoin Beach. And Mark, I'm a little worried. Wow. I mean, I saw on Twitter the military blocking the Chivo in El Salvador today. Mark is, just so everyone in the chat knows, Mark is doing on-ground footage of Bitcoin adoption in El Salvador since the law became law this past Tuesday, and the implementation. And Mark is pointing out the pros and the cons, right? But not every government likes when you point out their cons. And this government is putting literally like military people around Chivo Bitcoin ATMs. It's a militant implementation of crypto. It's a top-down implementation of cryptocurrency into economy. This is not organic people using it and then it just taking over the market. This is the government telling people you must accept this as cryptocurrency. So he's really worried. Mark, what could we do to help? I mean, I don't know how to almost like react. Like I hate to see. I've already been arrested. Bitcoin Center without a warrant. Yeah. So Mario Gomez, what Mark is saying here, everything I'm saying is from my research, outside of what Mark's doing. But yeah, if you talk bad about Bitcoin, a gentleman named Mario Gomez was put in prison. So I understand where Mark's concerns coming from. Patrick RG says, yeah, that worries me. The government suggesting it's forcing it. My post about it was removed from our Bitcoin and was temporarily banned from it. Yeah, so Mark was telling people like, hey, they're throwing people in prison that have issues with Bitcoin. And it may not, Mark is like, I'm pretty sure like for Bitcoin being used, but he's saying like, we really shouldn't just like force people to use it. Like people should have the choice. Like if I'm operating a shop selling whatever I'm selling for, if I don't want your Bitcoin for what I'm selling you, I should have the right to say that, right? But in El Salvador, you're in a sense a criminal if you say no to Bitcoin. That's been one of the criticisms of the new law. And also I think people should really like I think it's irresponsible of the Bitcoin community not calling this out. And you're literally seeing that people getting arrested for taking issue with that. So it's disappointing. Mark has an interview with Mario tomorrow. So Mario's out of jail. Everyone should watch that. Mario Gomez was the man arrested. This is like insane that I'm so like, this is crazy. It's going on my channel. Like this is like huge historical moment going on in El Salvador. Mark is like the main reporter and we're getting Mark, thank you for your feedback. Dude. I can't tell you how much how insightful this is to people. So I can't wait to see that interview with Mario. The government wants to pump their BTC bag. Absolutely. And that could be a reason to be bullish on it, right? Like if we believe that the authoritative nature of Bitcoin dictators is going to continue, that's a reason to speculate on it, right? Like I made a video about that on my channel, like why dictators love Bitcoin. Mark says, funny part is I wasn't even saying other than, hey, let's not celebrate a dictator even if he's doing something good. I wouldn't celebrate North Korea for using BCH. That's fair, right? Like, yeah, that's like a lot of times we'll say in crypto, like if your crypto is great, right? Like people you hate are going to use it. Like Bitcoin Cash, if it's very useful, like everyone's going to use it. Like the Taliban might use Bitcoin Cash, right? Because it's easy to use. You can cell phone and use the blockchain. Like it's very useful for them to do it. Like people you may not like. No, I'm not saying really. I'm just using them as an example. Didn't Mario Gomez support Bitcoin Cash? I don't know. But we'll certainly find out more about Mario Gomez from Mark's channel. So anyone in the chat here, we have 22. Again, hit the thumbs up button if you're still here. Go to Mark's channel, subscribe, notification bell. You're not going to get any better footage of what's going on in El Salvador. Nowhere. And he's even Mark. You're even like facing. You're doing like the real people's work here. I mean, you're facing the possible incrimination of, I don't know if Bukele is a dictator or not. Like some people like really like him. It doesn't seem, but he seems rather authoritative, like most politicians. Is Daddy Giffen still here? I don't know, Dad. You still here? He's still there. Cool. Like people posting for, let's support El Salvador and pump the price by buying $30 of BTC. That is true, right? Like you had, I can't tell you how many influencers, and certainly like MicroStrategy went out and bought $30 more. And of course, it was kind of funny the day that on Tuesday, that's when the market tanked. It's like, welcome to Bitcoin El Salvador. Boom, 10% dump on the market. Another reason to get the people a little riled up there. And I'm really, on Mark's channel too, but he has interviews with native El Salvadorians that just speaking pro or against it. Like, and he has translation done in it. Like people are speaking in Spanish, but you can read the subtitles. And also he's done tutorial videos for people in El Salvador on how to get your Bitcoin that you got from the state and get it out of the Chivo app. So the Chivo app is controlled by the government. And this is what I've said about, Bitcoin Cash or the Lightning Network is like, we want to own our money, right? Like that's why we're in crypto. We want to have control of it. We don't want counterparty risk. So Mark is teaching these people that know nothing about cryptocurrency, like you should probably consider, you have the right to have full control of it, right? And this is how you do it. So he showed him how to put it onto the bitcoin.com wallet. But again, the Chivo app is like horrible from what I've seen, like so many issues. And then showed him how to put it on the Moon wallet, which I talked about earlier. The Moon wallet seems like a pretty good wallet that operates with Lightning. Again, I don't know. I don't want to talk too highly of it because I don't know what secures it. And I don't want to sound like I'm endorsing a product, but you shouldn't listen to me. You should do your own research. But like, I haven't done my own research to give a strong enough opinion about it. My good friend Alex, this has been a very fascinating chat. We've had some really cool people show up. One of them, Mark Falzon, is on the ground floor in El Salvador, doing insane content and facing possibly, facing certainly backlash from, parts of the community that doesn't like that he's giving the pros and cons of what's happening in El Salvador, and could potentially, face a government that's thrown people in prison for speaking against it without any kind of due process or any kind of respect to personal freedom. BTC says, Ning says, BTC is free for everyone to use, including the governments. But let's not take government's mistake into ourselves and BTC. It is the government's fault for forcing people, not BTC's fault. That is true. It's absolutely true. J.E. says, Mark was on your channel is dope. You need more BCH video. Yeah, Mark, you are insanely talented with videography and just quality of content. Like, I do my best, right? But You're on another level for sure in terms of quality. The BCH is I don't know how to say it, but I'm grateful you're in BCH camp for sure. Mark says thank you. Alex has just finished playing basketball at Rec League, feeling good. Nice to see you, Ryan. Brother, when are we gonna hoop? And Mark, when you said you wanted to play some ball too. We got to either I got to come to California, you guys got to come to Florida. I want to get you guys on the court. So, guys, 21 still in the chat. Give it a thumbs up if you're enjoying it. I really appreciate it. It turned out to be an awesome stream from what was almost like a lost night. I still had this interview planned with this gentleman who owns a crypto hedge fund, and I think I'm going to reschedule tomorrow night. He's going out to Las Vegas to do some kind of NFT presentation. I want to get more into that world. I'm into crypto because of the personal freedom elements of it, the Austrian economic feel of it all. That's where my love and passion comes towards it, and that's why I'm in Bitcoin Cash. I think it's why most people are in Bitcoin Cash. But I still want to learn so many things about, what this whole blockchain world is creating that I understand to some extent, but I don't know enough about like an NFT. Like I saw someone on Twitter say, "I just sold an NFT for more than my parents sold their house for," and it's like literally a picture of a JPEG, and like I don't know how to explain this to them. Eagle Spirit Radio. I am new to your channel. Love your view on personal freedom. Thank you. I appreciate it. I've gotten a lot of new subscribers lately, and I really appreciate your guys' support. It's really, really encouraging to come out and make more content and just give more back to the community. BCH will take over NFT world. Yeah, I think that BCH is an absolute great asset to do that on. And again, it's because we have a strong base layer, a great proof of work network, and low fee. I mean, something big has to happen, right? Like not many other chains have this. Ryan says, "Hey Ryan, can you share your thoughts on current real estate market? Many believes bubble will pop next year, starting in big markets like LA and NY and other cities. My thoughts are that if you're in crypto, a market pop doesn't feel like a market pop. I can take a 10-20% hit in like nothing. So sure, can the market fall? Can it pop? But what is a pop in real estate, right? Like a pop, like certainly the markets are a little heated right now. It's not a market I would like to buy into. I like to buy in, like every house I bought in with built-in equity. I bought below market. And so I had that cushion there. If the market did fall, I was still going to be in the black. And I like buying in those scenarios. I like buying in those scenarios in any market, right? Like I like buying underneath market value. I think in this market, you're not going to get it, right? You're going to pay, if you do good, at fair market value, right? But you're seeing a lot of people paying over like asking price, like over market value. So I do think that needs to come down. And I think we can see the market come down by 10, 15, maybe even 20%, maybe. Just because this whole supply chain has just cost of goods all wonky, and so yeah, there's things that will level out in the market that would make just the cost of building cheaper. That if you're paying now, understand you're paying for that premium of having it now, because you understand there's a disruption in the supply chain now, along with the inflation. The inflation is real, but the supply chain issues should figure themselves out in the next year or so. Just my opinion. My father says, "What would be the reason a government would want people to use Bitcoin Cash? They tax you. Can they tax you?" Yeah, a government. I think a government with a small government, like I think St. Kitts or some other like these islands, would really benefit. Or what about El Salvador, right? Like El Salvador had a pitiful currency, right? So, but they're doing more authoritative in their implementation of Bitcoin. But like there's so many, Bitcoin Cash is better than so many sovereign currencies out there, probably better than all of them, right? But it lacks certain kind of sustainability and volume metrics met now that can be accomplished in the future that make the price more stable, that more people may enjoy as the market cap grows, right? But it would be better for their economy, right? And on a small island that doesn't really get much, like first, let's take St. Kitts, just use an example. Island that has 50,000 people. They would benefit more, but just by having a prosperous island that had people come in and spending money there, and found a way to take money at the top just by like a sales tax or some other kind of like tax, and like corporate gains tax or I think this is going to happen. I've heard actually Roger speak about. He's spoken to governments about implementing Bitcoin Cash as a currency, even before El Salvador hit. So like there are conversations being had. Real estate not going to fall. Yeah, I mean, I don't like if it didn't, I wouldn't be surprised. I think we're in a macro bull market, and for a lot of markets right now, I think the next 10 years look pretty good before we see any kind of real structural change in, if money needs to go to commodities because commodities become too cheap, and we need to encourage more people to go like pull oil out of the ground or mine precious metals or copper, zinc. Yeah, you'll see a lot of, if that happens like every 20, 30 years. Commodity markets run because they're such poor markets that all that gets sucked out of the equity markets and speculative markets. Everyone say that every year. The only thing you need is Bitcoin Cash. I love you guys. Yes, very overinflated real estate market. Just bought a house in Florida, but there were many houses we got outbid on. Yeah, so look, I've been, I came into the real estate market at an age when Florida real estate fell apart, and it's very different now. There was a buyer's market. I can't say the same thing now. You may be getting fair market, or you may want to take a longer term investment into a property right now before you lock up your capital in it, because you could face, in the next couple years, a bumpy road. But I think if you're willing to wait 10 years at this point, like, you'll still be okay, in my opinion. You can literally find information about Bitcoin Cash unless you search it up yourself. You can't really find information. Yeah, but that's kind of true with a lot of things, right? Like, you have to be looking for the information to find it. And a lot of times if you're having information just thrown in front of your face, it's probably too late to invest. But also I feel like there's qualitative investing too, right? Like if you're like in 2008 and you saw all your friends starting to use iPhones, like, it would have been like, these are really showing up everywhere now. They're pretty useful. They're pretty cool. Like how did you not buy Apple at that time, right? Like like people are probably still going to use this supercomputer in my pocket. Like, this is pretty awesome. Or like Tesla. Like, I'm seeing these electric cars everywhere. Like, something's going on here, So like, I think that could happen. And I think the same thing is going to happen in the crypto markets. Like, man, more and more people are using Bitcoin Cash. Like, or like, eventually, we're not there yet, but I know I'm doing everything I can to make that happen. And I think a lot of other people will too. And as the market cap grows, and really it's the phenomena of people becoming rich for crypto that makes it spread. And that's the beauty of the halving cycle that Satoshi put in with Bitcoin, is you have this supply shock every 4 years, and demand stays consistent, but the price goes parabolic, and all these people get rich, and then it's just this euphoria, it's this madness. That really makes it this world phenomenon so fast. That's why, again, it's the fastest market to reach, $1 trillion in market cap, and now $2 trillion, right? All right, what else we got here? You can really too much Bitcoin maxis pumping BTC videos. Yeah, see, I don't search that content as much. Like, I do know who the maxis are, and I see they're doing their thing. But like, yeah, if they love it, it's up to us. If Bitcoin Cash is right, there's got to be enough people that want to stand up for it and believe in it, right? So, what are we doing? Who's in our community? And there are people that are working for it. We only have 4 years at this. Bitcoin BTC stole the network. I shouldn't say, they have the network effect of 12 years. So we have an 8-year lag. So we got to work, 3 times harder. So what are you doing? What are we doing to do it? So newcomers get confused and think BCH is some side biatch. It's definitely talked about that way. Great Apple analogy, Ryan. Alex, I appreciate it. It's I think I'll call it Alexism. Alex, you always have those great analogies. Mass adoption is highly likely. Yeah, K.im. What do you got? Kim.com. It better be a killer app. Everyone better be having Bitcoin Cash wallets. Noise.cash is also fantastic. Noise.cash has brought so many people to Bitcoin Cash that couldn't give a flying, about crypto. They don't care about crypto. It's a useful thing to block something. They don't care. We have almost 250,000 people using the platform, and I think 2/3 of them don't care about cryptocurrency. They know what Bitcoin Cash is. They love it because it pays them, and it's a useful network. Build things that are useful to people. and that creates value. And and that's what and that's what's going to continue to happen in Bitcoin Cash. Real estate will go down when it becomes easier and more profitable to build new houses. I think that's a logical assumption, right? Like I think if you just look at the cost of containers to get things inside the country right now, and I'll just tell you one little thing about my industry. A container to buy like restaurant equipment used to cost about $4,000 or $5,000 to ship across from China to the United States. That now costs $30,000 because of low supply. So these aren't permanent costs. Like eventually, when supply and demand can equal out, it's going to fall. So understand, and if you're buying a new build or just any any real estate right now, because the new builds also affect the existing market. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a pullback as import costs fell. Not sure if you covered this, but I was wondering what is the incentive of people buying your products in BCH for a free marketing video? Is that way you're growing the community? Yeah. So what I did, I had a cryptocurrency miner buy a piece of cooking equipment for me for $10,000, and I shot a marketing video for him. And I was like, I'm going to extend this to more people that want to use Bitcoin Cash. And yeah, I can say my way of growing the network. It's absolutely true. That's probably most of it, Alex. But also, like, I'm not, right now my company is holding probably about 20% of its cash in Bitcoin Cash. And I want that number to continue to grow when the price goes down. Like, I think we're in a decent accumulation phase for Bitcoin Cash, but I'm not actively going out to buy it. So, like, accepting it makes it easy to put on my balance sheet too. So, and I just and I do want, like I wouldn't mind hitting something viral, like Florida businessman, selling these things for $10,000. Like, I want to continue to create the buzz and build the network effect for Bitcoin Cash, absolutely, and crypto in general, because selfishly, it's the future world I want, right? Like, for my own selfish reasons, I want to use a world that uses a decentralized currency. It's something that I would feel better when I get older, that like I had some small involvement in making that happen. I'm just being selfish. Talk about your golf tournament in Florida soon. Let's talk about it. Yeah, I've been working so hard on this, guys. I can't even tell you how hard I've been working. Like, the last 3 months have been very difficult. Now, I'm gonna do a little rant here and probably start wrapping it up. But again, my own selfish worldview is that I want cryptocurrency used everywhere. I want to go to Publix, the grocery store, and I want to buy my cryptocurrency, and I want to. I have an electric car, I don't buy gas, but I want to use it in my everyday life, and I want everyone to use a more fair system that's not controlled. And I've worked so hard on this, man, and I'm doing everything I can to make it the most badass experience for everyone that comes. I have, literally, like, coordinator Roger speaking. I got a crypto hedge fund speaking. I have Mike Romansky's Great for Trading, a market maker that's going to be there. I have tequila brands that are going to be handing out drinks on the course. I have a wine company. I have a brewery. I have a professional golfer coming out playing Beat the Pro. And I've been doing all this while my company has, honestly, last year we did $800,000 in volume for my startup company. This year we're going to exceed 5 million. Like, so I've had this insanely fast growing business, which, poor me, my company's growing too fast, but it's a lot of work, right? It's hiring people, and people are difficult. And I'll share something rather, and I won't get too personal with it, but a great friend and employee of mine passed away this week. And it's been a heavy thing, and he's really helped me grow my company. I'm super grateful for him, and he's a great man, and it's been really tough. And so on top of that, like, I've been building this golf tournament, and also I'm moving my business into, I've outgrown my current space, so I'm moving into a larger spot. So I have all this going on at once, man, and it would just mean the world for it really means the world for everyone that's contributed, that's signed up for the event, that's coming. And it would just be like accumulation after all this hard work, just to have that one day where we just have all these like-minded people with open mind and changing the world of cryptocurrency, and come out and really participate and have a lot of fun with it, and just kind of take a moment to be grateful for the moment, and it just bring together a lot of like-minded people, and it's gonna be amazing. I can't tell you, like, again, how much work I put into it. I've been ranting about this for a second, but like, it's been just a heavy time for me, man. Like, my anxiety level's been pretty high. I've been like making sure to stay high on my vitamins, magnesium. Like my family's got hit by COVID recently. My son broke his arm on Friday. Like a lot of crazy stuff's been happening. So like I'm just excited for this event to hit, move my new place, and maybe simplify my life a little bit. But it's been a little chaotic, and it would mean the world to me for all of you who can participate to participate. It's going to be special, man. I'd go to the golf tournament, but I need to save money to buy more BCH. What could I do to help you with that, man? What could we give you a discount? I'd probably come. What else we got here? Let me go back. Where did I leave off here? I'd probably come to the next meetup. I'm going to do a meetup the following night. Everyone that comes, so I have people flying in town for this event. So the following night, I have a restaurant. We're going to pay them in Bitcoin Cash. We're pushing the adoption. Real estate, I'd go down the golf tournament. For a country with small economy like El Salvador, its currency is very likely to get pump and dumped if they establish currency exchange freedom and want to be independent politically at the same time. I do agree. Cody in the house. Cody's a good friend of mine. Great YouTube channel. Thanks for popping in, brother. SoFi Stadium getting some great exposure tonight. Yeah, I passed on watching football tonight for the stream. I saw my Giants lost pretty badly today. Nothing new. Is there any Chinese YouTuber promoting BCH? I don't know. I'm not the best, and it sounds horrible, right? Like I'm Cuban, but like a lot of times some people think Spanish people are this or that. I don't know if Chinese particular. I do know Asian YouTubers that do. I don't know their exact nationalities, and hopefully it doesn't sound racist, but I can understand why it could. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but bought real estate right now because we had to leave the Northeast. Otherwise, I would have waited a while. Yeah, the Northeast is brutal, man. I lived in upstate New York for a while. The taxes up there are insane, and like the government's just a bit brutal. What do you sell for 10,000? I sell a lot of things for 10,000. I sell a lot of things for a lot more. So I sell commercial kitchen appliances for restaurants, right? So this, for example, I was selling what's called the Turbo Chef. You can go to my website, commercialkitchenstop.com, and you can see that commercial kitchen appliances are very expensive. So you can ring up a $10,000 tab pretty easy, building yourself a restaurant. And if you guys don't know, if you want to make a small fortune in the restaurant business, the best way to do that is start with a big fortune, and it just gets really small. Sorry, it's a bad joke. That something takes time. Mark, thank you, brother. I can't tell you, like, dude, I'm so glad that I covered your video and you've reached back out, and hopefully we can continue to kind of collab in this space or support each other. It means the world, brother. Thank you so much, Mark. And just in general, like as a fan, thank you for what you're doing in terms of covering the crypto economy and just traveling the world and telling us what's really happening there. If you want to learn more about Lightning Network and why it is likely to not achieve mass adoption, Chris Pacheco's talks on it about are great. I'll definitely check that out because I've been curious about Moon, MUUN, the Lightning Network. It's functionable. Like I haven't done a deep dive into it. I've started researching it, but I've used Moon and it is it's usable. What's the event called? It's called Mark, come to South Florida, bro. Come to South Florida. Cover this Bitcoin Cash event, dude. I'm throwing a huge Bitcoin Cash event. Mark, I'm gonna send you when I get off here on Instagram the promo video of the Bitcoin Cash event I'm throwing at PJ National Resort and Spa. We're playing golf. I got people flying in from New Hampshire to video all this. We're growing Bitcoin Cash adoption in South Florida. And I'm going to have, probably around 100 people there partaking in people learning about Bitcoin Cash. And Roger Ver is going to be zooming in from Tokyo. And I have a lot of other Bitcoin Cash people. I have a lot of cool people involved. I'll send you all the details when I get off here. Maybe you can make it to South Florida. You can crash at my place. Just let me know. Mark. George Gammon mentioned your event on his channel 2 months ago. George Gammon mentioned my event. Why don't I know George Gammon? Someone link George Gammon's channel in the chat here. I'll go and shout him out. I wish I watch a lot of YouTube, but like if you're gonna mention me in something, like always let me know. Like I'll go show the love. I'll share it out. Like, dude, like I'm all about anyone. I'm grateful for anyone that promotes my stuff, and I'll absolutely, I'm grateful for it. I want to show my gratitude. It's time to cancel Ryan Giffen and Jimmy Kimmel. Maybe just Jimmy Kimmel. My close friend just opened a restaurant a month ago. Mark, next time let him know. That's what I do. I design and build restaurants to some extent. I work with contractors, and I have a couple other service businesses in the area, and that's a part of the event I'm throwing. My companies are hosting this event. Mark, your friend should accept Bitcoin Cash at his restaurant. I'm sure he does if he's a friend of Mark. My father says, just like the boat business, start with a big fortune and end up with a small one, right? Mark, I'm going to absolutely send you the details, guys. I've been going for an hour and a half. I got to go sell some equipment and spread some Bitcoin Cash adoption tomorrow. Any last words in the comment section before I go? Guys, you've been, it's been a really cool stream. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully the quality, I'm excited to listen back to it. I got this new microphone. I want to make sure the quality is as good as it can be. And I'll definitely send the information, Mark. Cody says QYLD or crypto. Cody, you know what I'm going to say. I can't, Cody, I'm so glad you're buying crypto. And I think, and look, I understand you like income with these, dividend stocks and all that, but these high yielding, indexes that are paying out these high dividends, I can't get it. I don't need the income now. And I just feel like the capital appreciation, excuse me, I got to get some drink. I feel like the capital appreciation isn't really there. But Mark, thanks for the feedback on the mic. Buy more Bitcoin Cash, guys. Brian, thanks, Ryan. Awesome show. Have a great day, and I hope your son gets well soon. Yeah, he broke 2 arms in his forearm. He's at kindergarten the other day, and I guess the teacher wasn't watching him. I don't know. But he's been tough about it. He's been hanging out at the house all weekend just on ibuprofen and is like the toughest little kid. Cody, I heard Coinbase users are getting money. Mike is great. Guys, all right. Make sure before I leave, parting words. Follow Mark's channel, Mark Falzone. Follow Citizen of the Year. Follow Gen X Dividend Investor. Any other channels in the chat here? Brian, I don't know if you have a channel. I'm not sure. I see you got a logo. But if you guys have channels, let's continue to collab. We should probably do this once a month. Just hop in a chat and see what's going on. Mark, I'm going to hit you up on Instagram after this. Guys, have a great night. Be safe. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. I really appreciate it. My father doesn't have a YouTube channel, but if you have a boat, there's no one better to talk to. My father has run marine mechanic businesses and shops down here in South Florida forever. He's also a captain, really good fisherman. So, Mark, maybe when you guys come visit me in Florida, let's go fishing. Let's play some golf. I'll show you guys around. All right. See you in my next one.